It's sad just how many people. There's a thing called the ClergyProject, and did you know how many pastors or youth pastors or choir practitioners are actually atheists inside of a church? I mean, do they have integrity at that point? This really is a question. It's like, if you don't believe the documents, why teach them?
It would be better that a millstone is hung around your neck and you are flung into the sea. Basically what he's saying, cement shoes, you get thrown into the ocean, you sleep with fishes. That would be more preferable than what God has in store for you for leading people astray. So, yes, this is a very bad thing. This is very detrimental, and people will end up going to hell because of these false teachers. That is a given. That is a guarantee. But God knows everything. God's in control, and He works through people. He works through people just like you. So I want you to know that you need to be on guard, looking out for these charlatans. And how will you know that these people aren't who they say they are? They're not ministers of the gospel. They're not actually shepherding anybody. Is you won't see any sort of discipleship. You won't see them talk about sin. You won't talk about Jesus. They won't talk about the heavy-hitting issues in the Bible. It's all about don't judge and some sort of inspirational lifestyle message. If that is your church, leave it. Because not only is it a time suck, it is a waste of money. And you have no business being there. You have limited time here on this earth. And why waste it on these false prophets, these wolves in sheep's clothing? You don't got time for that. You need to be built up where you go from milk to meat. And if your church isn't teaching the meat of the gospel, the things that transform people's lives, they're a waste of time. When they don't disciple people, they just, go to our small groups. Go to Wednesday. They talk about that stuff there. No, this is what the church is for. It's about building up a body of believers to be strong in their faith. It's not about seeker-friendly because nobody seeks God. It's not about watering down the message because you don't want to be offensive to non-believers. Church is believers. Non-believers are not part of the church. So if they want to show up to the physical church, just know we're not watering things down for unbelievers. Church is for believers. Church is for believers to be built up in their faith so that they know the meat of the gospel. So then they are equipped to go out and preach the gospel, the Great Commission. They go out into all the world and preach the gospel because seekers don't come here. Seekers don't come to God. God sends His people out to you. The Holy Spirit is the one that touches people, not your watered down church. So if that is going on in your church, if they're just looking for money to build another building so that they can house more people that they can ask for money from, or they want to get more money so that they can send teenagers out for a global youth mission that doesn't produce disciples, doesn't produce converts, the kids don't speak the language, they're not going to be in charge of discipling people, now you know your church is run by a fraud. We know that the church is anemic, but I want to know, have you ever been to a church where you could